Number 2, I want you to pick every sales activity and give it a grade. Give every sales activity a grade. And by the way, if you don't have a good list of sales activities, if you go online, there are tons and tons and tons and tons of lists out there that will talk about the different sales activities. So for example, prospecting is a sales activity. So you're going to take your yellow piece of paper, you're going to write 1 through 20 down the left margin, and you're going to list all these sales activities, right? Writing a blog, prospecting, social media, direct mail, e-blast, Twitter. You list everything down. You're listing everything down along that left margin. And everything is going to get a gradient, right? It's going to get a grade. Now, it could be 0 to 100. Obviously, closer to 100 is good, closer to 0 is bad. It could be A. A is good. C, D, and F is not, is bad. But what ends up happening is that you need that diagnostic. You need that visual that helps you identify what you're not doing well. So if you give yourself an A on something, and it is a true legitimate A, well, good. That ain't broke. Don't fix it. Keep doing what you're doing. In fact, we'll talk a little bit in the future about how to embellish something you're already doing good even more, right? If you're getting good results doing it like this, if you did a little more of it, you would probably even add to the various results that you have. But I want you to be self-critical, not self-mean. There is a difference, right? Certain people, I'm terrible at sales. I'm the worst human being in the world. I'm a terrible parent, right? Self-critical and self-demeaning are not the same thing. I want you to be self-critical, but with an air of legitimacy. Now, if you struggle with doing that, you're welcome to reach out to John and I. We can certainly help you. There's some great diagnostics. But when you give yourself a C and it's a legitimate C, that also opens the opportunity to move forward. What has to happen to go from C to B, right? So if I'm doing 10 of something right now and I'm giving myself a C, well, maybe it makes sense. Maybe if I do 15 of something, then it's possible I'm going to be able to go to B. So what you're looking for is a diagnostic, but in that diagnostic, you're also looking for the improvement quotient. This is what I'm doing now, and as a result of what I'm doing now, this is how I feel about the success I'm having. Again, right in the beginning, what did we say? If you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always gotten. So if you give yourself a D for social media and you make no changes, you do the exact same thing. And I often tell people, rarely does the application of nothing change your results. So if you're doing whatever you're doing now and you're giving yourself a D, and you're going to drag that into 2022 and do it the exact same way, it's quite likely if we were going through this exercise in the end of 2022, you'll have the same poor results. You'll still give yourself a D, maybe even slip down to an F. So I want you to give yourself a gradient. I want you to be self-critical, not self-demeaning. And I want you to also include things that you do not do at all right now. So for example, you might not do direct mail, but I want direct mail to be on your list. I want this to be a comprehensive list of all the sales activities. Maybe, for example, maybe you're not doing anything online. You're not doing photos or videos. You're not doing webinars. You're not doing live events. You're not going to networking. Doesn't make any difference. I want your list to be comprehensive. So, for example, if you're not doing any webinars and you come to that point of your list, what is the grade that you're going to give yourself? Oh, every sales activity, regardless of whether you do it now. Because I want you to see that F. I want you to see that you're not doing it. Because the goal, if you're not doing it now and you're giving yourself an F, even if you do it poorly, right? Even if you do a terrible job, it's still better than the 0 that you had previously. So you might go on and do a couple of Facebook Lives, right? You hold your camera up on your cell phone and you're putting it on. Even if you're not happy with it at all, it's still 100% better than the 0 you were doing previously. So I want you to give yourself a grade, and I want it to be comprehensive. And if you struggle with it, please reach out to us.